All right, what's happening? I got something I want to show y'all real quick, but before I do me a favor and make sure you like and share this for me. I appreciate it. So this is something that I talked about before. I think, well, you got to be careful when you answering your door, right? Because this next thing that I'm about to show y'all, I think, is the reason why you just don't swing your door or open, every time somebody, knocks on your door or rings your doorbell, because you don't know, you really don't know who's on the other side, and you really don't know what their intentions are. And the best way to keep yourself safe is just to not open up the door. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I'm talking about, and then as always, just kind of give you my thoughts about the situation.
A burglary attempt at a Dallas apartment ended with a violent shootout. Before the gunfire, doorbell cameras captured one of the gunmen pretending to be a maintenance worker. When he thought no one was home, he and an accomplice tried to kick in the door. Then they found out quickly someone was inside with a gun ready to fight back. Fox 4's Amelia Jones is at Dallas Police Headquarters tonight with the latest on this shootout investigation. Amelia.
Steve, that man who fought back, his name is Ethan Rodriguez, and he told me today that in that moment, he feared for his life. He told us that he has no connection to the man who posed as that maintenance worker, and he believes that this was a crime of opportunity. Saturday, August 19th, around 6 p.m. A man who claims to be a maintenance worker shows up outside an apartment door at a complex off of Gannon Lane in Oak Cliff.
Can I help you? Oh, yes, they came to check your air filters.
Ethan Rodriguez talks to the man through his doorbell camera.
No one came to check the air apartment. No. Yeah, we're checking the air filters.
Rodriguez tells him no one is home and to come back another day.
Oh, much appreciated.
A few minutes later, the man comes back, this time with a friend, and they're armed. Little did they know, Rodriguez is home and had been on his phone talking to them through his doorbell camera.
So I hurried up and checked the camera to see who was all at the door, and I saw him kicking the door with the firearm, and fearing for mine and my brother's life, I just let the gun go. I didn't know what to do.
Dallas police say Rodriguez fired 13 rounds, and the suspects fired back twice. No one was injured. According to the arrest affidavit, the video posted and circulated on social media led to Crime Stoppers tips that identified the suspect posing as the maintenance worker as 30-year-old Aaron Contreras.
I mean, this was basically just a random attack. We couldn't have expected any of this. No, he's not linked to anybody in my family or anybody that we know.
2 days later, on Monday, police arrested Contreras and charged him with aggravated assault, deadly conduct, and attempted burglary. Dallas County Sheriff's Office records show Contreras' criminal history dates back to 2013. The records show he's been arrested and charged with robbery and burglary several times before.
I'm guessing he just thought this was just going to be a lucky payday. No one's home, and this is just free stuff to steal here. No, he thought wrong.
Dallas police couldn't share any information about the man in the ski mask shown in the video. They told Fox 4 today that his identity is part of the ongoing investigation. Rodriguez told us that he has not received any messages about who that man could be either. Steve, back to you.
Amelia, crazy video, crazy doorbell.
All right, yeah. So, man, this is the stuff that you really got to think about. When it comes to, keeping yourself safe and keeping your family safe. You get what I'm saying? I mean, nobody expects to have their door kicked in, but it happens, you know what I mean? And I think, some people now, they've become more bold and they have no shame, so much to the point where they don't even come under the cover of darkness to commit these crimes anymore. They don't even care if they're on camera. We talking about broad daylight, and these guys come disguised as maintenance workers. And I mean, it's good that the guy didn't open the door and he just talked through the doorbell camera. But I think one thing that kind of stood out to me, which probably set the whole thing in motion, was that he told the guy that nobody was home. You get what I'm saying? That right there was just too much information. Don't give out sensitive information like that, especially when you have people at your door that you don't know. They don't need to know who's home. They don't need to know who's not home. They don't need to know how many people live there or who lives there. And I think by him telling this guy that nobody was home, that was a green light. And that's all they needed to attempt to break in. And so, you know, it's just one of those things where you don't have to give out the information, or you should refrain from, you know, giving out information or any information. Now, another thing I think that was good is that he had a firearm. He had his own gun, because the other guy did come back with a gun. And when you're in a situation like that, it kind of puts you in a position where you have to make a decision. Either you're going to let them kick down the door and then try to defend yourself from there, or you're going to do what this guy did, which was to open fire through the door. But in that situation, I mean, this is an apartment complex where everybody lives in such close proximity to each other. You know, you let off that many rounds, 13 of them. I mean, that could have been fatal for not only the bad guys, but also for the surrounding neighbors. You get what I'm saying? So it's good that his neighbor's door that was across from him, you know, it's good that their door wasn't hit. You know, we're talking about 13 shots, you know, and I know it's going to be a split-second decision, but it's a decision that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life, regardless of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? And I think these guys, what they were looking for the path of least resistance. And by them thinking that nobody was home, you know, based on the information that this guy gave them, that was the perfect opportunity for them. You know, like they said, crime of opportunity. But you see, when somebody comes to your door and you don't know who they are and you don't recognize them, like I was saying, you really don't know what their intentions are. In that situation, were these guys just looking to break in and just steal some stuff? I mean, the other guy did come back with a gun. So what was he gonna do had they got in and they just happened to come across somebody who was actually at home? But whatever it is, you know, don't get comfortable in thinking that this can't happen to you because of where you stay, or because of the area where you live, or because it hasn't happened in your neighborhood. And if you don't have a doorbell camera and you don't feel comfortable opening the door, talk through the door. Don't open it. And if they claiming to be some maintenance workers or something like that, and you live in that apartment and you have your doubts, then give the leasing office a call, you know, just to confirm. But whatever you do, don't open that door. And also teach your kids about not opening the door. I mean, I know it sounds, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I have to say it, but I mean, it's just one of those things, man. You know, it's just not safe to swing the door open without checking who's on the other side, no matter how old you are. And you definitely don't want your kids doing it, right? Because what these robbers are counting on is for somebody's door to be unlocked. I mean, believe it or not, there are people who don't lock their doors. And they're also counting on somebody to just swing the door open, right? It's all about ease of access. So if they can get you to open that door, they can push you back inside. It's almost kind of like a blitz type of ambush, right? And like I was saying, it's all about ease of access and catching you by surprise, right? The path of least resistance. And for this supposed maintenance worker, I mean, that gun could have been a tool of intimidation just in the event that somebody opened the door, or had they kicked it down and found that somebody was home. But thankfully, this guy had his own firearm and he was able to protect himself and his family. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna sit there and wait to find out what this dude with the gun claiming to be a maintenance worker was gonna do. And you know, with that door being closed and locked, you got to understand that you have the element of surprise, right? Because these guys didn't know what or who was on the other side. So don't give up that advantage, you know, and whatever you do, don't fall for these tricks. Like, what's one? It's like a tactic where somebody comes to your door. They say they've been in an accident. They need to use your phone to call 911. Instead of opening up the door and letting them inside, you know, just talk through the door and tell them you'll make the call to 911 for them. But whatever you do, man, don't let your guard down. Because I mean, yeah, these guys, I mean, yeah, they could have just called the cops. They could have just called the cops when the guy started kicking on the door. But you got to think about that too. You're gonna have to wait, and that time between the cops showing up and whatever these guys were planning on doing, that's not gonna be enough to save you. So you got to be your own first line of defense, man. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to wait until the cops get there while somebody's trying to break down my door with a gun in their hands. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a little something to think about. And remember that you're under no obligation to just open up your door just because somebody knocks or rings the doorbell. So stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Don't get complacent. And I'll see y'all on the next one.